I still have to write that statistics paper, and that chem lab report is due tomorrow. Dr. Fletcher wants that rough draft by Tuesday, and Dr. Bonner said I could only have until Thursday to finish my presentation on absorption spectroscopy. I told Scott I could meet on Wednesday night to work on our project for neuroscience. My presentation will never get done. Sometimes, this all just seems like too much. What do you see when you walk around campus? Do you see mountains, serenity, home? For others, it might seem like a long path that never ends.
I never really noticed anxiety until maybe the end of middle school, beginning of high school. It was pretty unconsciously. I had anxiety a lot where I would get sick physically, maybe before like kind of exam time, even elementary and middle school. But it would kind of come in different ways where maybe I would struggle to make friends, keep friends, or just be kind of awkward in situations, not cope well with many different scenes that I'd be in.
I feel like you kind of carry it everywhere, you know? I mean, even when I'm going and just having fun, going out drinking or something with the friends, you kind of carry the stress with you. It becomes a burden.
Yeah, just many different situations where I'll get physically sick or be physically unable to do something until I learn to cope with it the right way. I mean, really, when I think about getting physically ill, the anxiety, probably like every cross-country and track race that I went into. And most of the time it kind of just builds up in your head. And so if I got sick at one cross-country meet, I know I'm probably going to be sick. I tell myself that I'm going to be sick the next cross-country meet. But if I go to an event and I don't get sick, then that will help me in the next thing, or if I get used to a situation, then I won't be as nervous. So it's really just me kind of working myself up over anxiety rather than the situation a lot. I mean, I get stressed over things, but with schoolwork I do get anxiety where I feel nauseous or whatever before exams. Like freshman, sophomore year of college, I did get sick sometimes during exam time, but I've gotten used to that where now, sophomore or junior year, senior year, it didn't really happen as much.
Drink more. No. You just kind of have to, if you put in the work, you got to understand that what you did is good, and you kind of just have to live with it. And I think there's always going to be some stress, but I mean, again, you just have to understand that that's that, and what you're doing at a different point is what you're doing.
Now I'm on Zoloft, which helps, but I think recently, maybe a few months ago, I just drank just to try to help some things I do sometimes, but not to the point where I can't control it. If I'm just stressed, I'll have a few drinks or whatever, but nothing where I'm gonna make myself really drunk where I don't know what's going on or do it in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I've had caffeine problems since I can remember, man. But now I mean, like, yeah, I've got like a fridge full of Full Throttles, not because I need them to stay awake, but because I like them, or because same thing with like Red Bull. It's like I drink them for the taste. It just so happens that when I'm pulling an all nighter and it's 6 in the morning and I just want to die a little bit. Well, I'm already thirsty. Might as well reach for something like that. And then the caffeine pills, which I have used in the past semester or so, they were actually originally a joke gift from one of my roommates that have just turned out to be extremely helpful.
I get mad at anxiety a lot, to the point where it does feel like something different, another person or something. I mean, I know it's like in my brain, but it does feel like something that holds me back a lot. I don't know how I can envision it, but I do see it as something different, like not me. Then I get really mad, just want to kind of throw it out of my brain a lot, and I feel like it affects me the way I live. That it doesn't need to be this way, but then I have to kind of look at it and think, hey, this is me, I can't do anything, all I can do is I can cope with it.
My stress is kind of like Venom, because much like Venom, it becomes one with you. For those non-comic book nerds out there, Venom is a alien that clings on to somebody and they become this superhero, but they speak as one and they become one. So it's kind of like stress. It becomes one with you.
Kind of funny because I don't really get anxious about like interviewing athletes or interviewing people when I write for the newspaper, which a lot of people say like, oh, that's what I would get nervous about. When I get anxious over, you know, little things like running a race or hanging out with a girl or something like that.
Probably just in my room.
What are you doing there?
Probably watching a Cavs game.
You a big Cavs fan?
LeBron James, the GOAT.
But I don't think a lot of people realize that I can't always control that myself. Sometimes it just comes to me, and if I'm not able to breathe or think about how I can control it, and I get nervous or feel sick, then it's kind of too late at that point because I've already worked myself up. So I don't think people realize all the time that a lot of it just goes through my head, and I can't stop it once it kind of started. If you notice, try to say maybe it's not the anxiety, maybe it's just learning to handle the situation, not look at it as anxiety, because when you look at it as anxiety, then you kind of build the anxiety up because you know it's going to come. Probably just tell myself not to worry about it, because I'll look down in 10 years, I'll look back at it and just say it was stupid to get nervous over that. But I get nervous over things now, which 5 days from now, 5 years from now, I'll look back and say that was stupid to get nervous over. I look back over every situation and think it was stupid to get nervous over. So yeah, that's what I would tell any past version myself. All I know is that I've never experienced not having it. I've had good times, I've had bad times. I've had times where I wouldn't get nervous for weeks or months and I'd do really well, and then I would have setbacks. So I feel like that's something that I'm always going to deal with to an extent, but I can go like maybe longer periods of time not having it, being more relaxed.